Hello, good afternoon to everyone. It's time to study English grammar again, and let's see what we're about to study. Well, remember, we have seen many modal verbs, right? Verbs which are used in various contexts. Can, for example, to express ability, could to express possibility, may and might to express possibility as well, must, right, to express something that you are supposed to do, and so forth, right? Just summarizing some of the situations we may encounter. Of course, there are much more details to it. There is much more to be studied, and I advise you to watch my previous videos on these modal verbs as well. Today we will study another modal verb which is very used in English. I may have given some examples before about it. It's the verb should. So let's get going. Let's get going, shall we? Okay. Where is my... So the verb should. Should. When I say something, when I tell you, you should do something, what does it mean? It means it's an advice, it's advisable to do. I recommend that you do something. It's a piece of advice, okay? It's the right thing you should do. It's a good thing or right thing, and you are supposed to do it because it's recommendable, it's advisable. For example, I haven't slept well for weeks. And then I say, you should see a doctor. Right? Something is wrong with you. You should see a doctor. If I haven't, I haven't been feeling well lately. It's another way. I haven't felt well lately. And then you come to me and say, why? Do you know what's happening to you? And I say, no, I have no idea, but I don't know, I feel a little uneasy, I'm a little dizzy sometimes, I have problems in my sleep. Okay, you should see a doctor. It's a piece of advice, okay? A piece of advice. Because advice is not countable, right? You can't say, you're not supposed to say one advice, two advices. No, it's wrong. So you say a piece of advice because this word advice is uncountable. It's different. What's the difference between advice and advice? Advice is a noun and advice is the verb, okay? Okay, so just something extra. The company should cut down on expenses. Right? The company has, for example, you know a company or you work in a company which is handling very difficult situations due to the economic crisis. So what is the company supposed to do? The company should cut down on expenses. It's a piece of advice. It's the right thing to do, okay? You shouldn't work so hard. You should take some rest, okay? You should take some rest. You're tired, so have some rest. You should take some rest. So you understand the idea. It's a situation in which you give a piece of advice or you recommend something to someone, or when you want to express that a situation is advisable to someone, right? I advise you to do something, right? What else? It's very common to use should with expressions such I think or I don't think. Why is it so common? It's common because should represents an opinion, right? If you recommend something to someone, it means that you are giving a piece of advice. It's an opinion. And opinions in general, they come with expressions such as I think, I don't think. I think you should get on a diet. I think you should get on a diet as soon as possible because you are eating too much, you are not exercising well enough, right? So I think you should get on a diet. When you use expressions such I think you should, remember we have here two sentences. I think that you should get on a diet. I think what? So this becomes the object of the expression I think. I think something. What is the something I think? You should get on a diet. But that can be omitted in this context. So it's very common to think, I think you should do something, right? I don't think you should accept that offer. Okay, there's something strange about that offer. If I were you, I wouldn't take that offer. You know, it's an expression. For example, if I were you, I wouldn't take that offer. I guess I have mentioned it before that when you use expressions, conditional sentences in which you use you describe an impossible situation, instead of I was, I use I were, right? In normal situations, you don't use I were. I was, right? I was, he was, she was, it was. But in such contexts, you can use if I were. But the point is, I can use I don't think you should do something. Okay, as I have expressed an idea in the negative, right? What is the negative of the verb should? The should is shouldn't in its contracted form, or should not, which has practically the same meaning. You know, when you say something, when you tell somebody that you have to do something, for example, have to, must, okay, you must be here at 10. What's the idea here? The idea, is it an advice, a piece of advice? No, it's not a recommendation. It's something that you are supposed to do, right? You have to do something. It's like an obligation. It's mandatory that you do something. So must, verbs such as must and have to, they express stronger ideas in which you have no alternative at all. You have to do something because it's necessary, right? But when you say you should apologize for being impolite. Okay, you say something to a person and then your friend calls you to say, in my opinion, I think you should apologize for being impolite. Should, it's a piece of advice. It would be a good thing to do. Is it necessary? No, it's just a recommendation. You do it or not. But when you use the verb must, you have no way out. You have to do something. It's an obligation. It's something that you are supposed to do after all. Okay? Okay, then let's see something else. Do you know where your father is? I don't know. He should be here by now. What's the idea expressed here? Is it a recommendation, advice? No, it's something that you expect to happen. You expected your father to be home. It was predictable. It was predicted that your father is at home. But something should have happened. You don't know what happened after all. And he's not home. But you say he should be here by now, right? So it expresses an idea when something was supposed to happen. For example, like as planned. Something didn't work as planned and suddenly deviated from the planned course of action. So he should be here, but something happened and he's not here. I want to know what happened to him. So he should be here by now. I went to the store and the TV should be there. Okay, the sales clerk, I told him, could you make a reservation, please? Take that TV. I'm going to buy the TV, but I just have to check on something. And after some time, I will come back and take the TV. And then what happens? You go back to the store and the TV is not there. So something wrong happened. Just a moment. Something wrong happened. Maybe the sales clerk wasn't there anymore, or maybe the sales clerk forgot what he told you. The TV should be there and it's not there. Okay, so it's like things like this that guides such situations. When driving, you should wear seat belts. You should wear the seat belt, right? Is it mandatory? Yeah, in some countries, some cities, it is mandatory, but not necessarily it's mandatory. But it's advisable. You should wear seat belt. it's expected that you wear seatbelt. So it expresses an idea that something was expected, right? The ordinary course of action should guide you to a result, but it doesn't happen that way. So just to explain what happened with the telephone right here, at around lunchtime, what happens? Somebody calls me. It's a bot, okay? It's a robot, or somebody wants to sell something. It's never someone I know, because I only use my telephone, my home telephone, to call my parents. So sometimes unexpected things happen, right? It's like the situations we are talking about. Okay, so have a good day.